Hey there, Wondering Watchers. I'm Sony Golden for The Vibe is Golden. Welcome to this edition of Tabloid Tarot, where we unveil celebrity news stories that might hit the tabloids next and dig into old scandals that still cause a stir. In today's Tabloid Tarot, we're taking a peek at some old family drama being stirred up and served for the holidays. We are tossing Brad Pitt's relationship with his kids into the spotlight to be tabloid tarot. So let's see what sensational headline we have for Brad and his estranged family. Okay, so we have here Alice in Wonderland, Stop, Ancient Records, Fear, and Hesitation. It also says decision, confusion, and worry. So here with this Alice in Wonderland and this Fear card, it's almost as if the kids were living in a reality with Brad, or the relationship with Brad is like they're living in a reality that is just unlike any other like world that anyone would know, just unusual or random things, trying to figure out what it is, not really sure if what they're seeing is supposed to be, what it's represented as. It's like a distorted reality, and kind of shying away from it, or being afraid of it. And with this hesitation and stop, and even these ancient records, it's almost like their story goes way, way back. A sense of like, I don't know, to some degree, like their interaction with each other is karmic, possibly to kind of learn something about something with like, I think it's really interesting. Like you've got the two people on the shoulder. It's like the devil angel kind of thing. It's almost a sense of like the reason why I think there is not a relationship with Brad and his children. You don't see them pictured together. The stop card kind of indicates that clearly, is like there was some kind of aspect where they had to either figure out like almost who to believe, like the mom or the dad. Like Angelina's on one shoulder, Brad's on the other shoulder, or even the fact that there's multiple kids in this family. Like there's 6 kids, 3 of them are adopted and 3 are biological. So it's as if like they really didn't know who to trust, and they didn't know what really to believe. And so this concept of really everything goes so deep, they had to like just cut ties pretty much. But let's see what the cards say about the details of this juicy story. I would say whatever the situation is with Brad and his kids, these cards aren't really like feel-good cards. I would say that Alice in Wonderland card has that potential of like looking at something different, unusual, unknown, and kind of exploring what that is. But I kind of get a sense of that fear. I mean, all these cards don't seem super positive, but I'm going to lay out the cards, and I'm going to have a Brad's view, and then his adopted kids and his biological kids, because there's just so many. I'm not going to do one for each of them. So I'll go ahead and put out the cards, and that's interesting. I'll go through the meanings. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to just stop there. I'm going to look at the bottom of the card. The bottom of the bottom of the deck, I have the High Priestess here. So things that are like hidden, things that are unknown, and really needing to trust your feelings, your gut about stuff. So here, in terms of Brad, this is his view of himself as a parent, and we have here the Fool. So it's a sense of him like kind of rushing into it, like with a sense of like taking a leap of faith, really kind of going for it and having really no expectations. How he feels about his kids, we have here the Moon. I feel like that kind of indicates that there is he doesn't really know how to feel about them. It's a sense like they bring out a certain fear in him, self-doubt, and to some degree just like almost a sense of just stuck in his emotions about them. In terms of Angelina's role in her kid's life, we have here the Sun, very positive, happy, joyous card here. And I think it's interesting that like you've got the Sun and then the Moon here. The Moon again being how he feels about his kids. And then with his adopted kids over here in the past, this is kind of, you know, how they see Brad or the relationship or feel about him. We have their King of Wands. So the adopted children, I believe, Maddox and Pax were the first like adopted children before they actually started having their own children, and even so in the past, I'm kind of thinking about all their different kids. So in the past, the King of Wands, they kind of saw Brad as someone who is like, you know, demands attention, someone who is loyal. But I think in this deck, you could see the King of Wands is like burning this house down and kind of showing his power. So I think they did see him as someone who is powerful. And it's maybe kind of changed. That kind of sense of power changed because how they see him now with this death card, a sense of like change and loss. It's almost like the person they knew like turned into like a corroded version almost. Like the power, like you kind of see your parent as someone who is knowledgeable and powerful and having the ability to really kind of do whatever they want. You have that view of like that they can do whatever they want, especially with Brad Pitt being so famous. But then if it's corroded, it's almost like they take that power and use it in a way that's very egotistical, like selfish power. But here in the future position, you have the Ace of Cups. So it seems like there's a new potential, a new opportunity might be able to kind of come about. But here with his biological kids, in the past, you have the Three of Swords here. So just, you know, upset and disappointment overall. It seems like they kind of remember like not the good parts, and just kind of are, you know, the disappointment. And it's almost making me look at the swords kind of in this X shape, like the stop. Like it's almost as if with the biological kids, that relationship was already like not good, with the adopted kids coming first. And Zahara, I actually may have been between Maddox and Pax. In terms of their present relationship with Brad with the Eight of Swords, a sense of them just feeling not able to kind of communicate, maybe not even wanting to like see if there's anything there, but just feeling like totally separate from him. or him feeling separate from them. And then in the future, we've got the Six of Pentacles. So for them, it seems like perhaps there is a potential for them to connect, but maybe more in terms of money, like needing like financial aspects of it. Whereas for the adopted children, it seems like there might be an opportunity for one of them to have like an actual like new beginning with Brad. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and clarify these cards. So let's start with the Fool, with Brad's view of himself as a parent. We have the Queen of Cups. It's almost as if he was willing to do this because Angelina, he was really into her, and she has this, you know, big heart. She adopted those 3 kids. She's like does humanitarian stuff all the time. And so I feel like his view of himself as a parent was like, I'll do this because she's going to take the reins. She's going to be the one providing the love and the attention. And, you know, I'm into her. So let's take a look at the Moon, how he feels about his kids. We have the Nine of Wands. I feel like, you know, any attempt that he's thinking about going forward with his children, it's just thinking about how things got bad, just like how much energy he had to put into it and really little or no reward. And then you could see in this card, this person is hiding and things are on fire in the back over there. I mean, things are on fire over here. So in terms of Angelina's role, I'll clarify the Sun, 10 of Cups. So yeah, she did or does really provide the happiness for the family. And I think to a certain degree, Brad was relying on that, you know, like had no expectations other than maybe her being that person to take care of them. So let's take a look at the King of Wands in the past. We have here the World, success. So they definitely, the adopted children definitely saw Brad as someone who was successful, who they thought maybe knew what he was doing or like, you know, was very powerful and earned it. But let's clarify this Death card in the present. Okay, I had to reconnect my camera because it decided to die on me. Okay, so with the Death card here, current view of Brad or the relationship with Brad, we have the Knight of Swords clarifying. So almost a sense of kind of just going really quickly, really fast, like almost like whatever this change was had to do with perhaps using this power, like kind of quickly like coming in there and charging in without really knowing what to do or what the plan is or what the outcome is, and just like the kids aren't going to take it. Like they're going to say what this is the right way, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to protect myself, and it's not going to be your way. Ace of Cups clarification for the future for the adopted kids. We have the Five of Swords. This is kind of about fighting, about bullying, brutality, and there are those rumors or those reports that there were times where Brad was physically abusive or threatening to his family. So Five of Swords would be kind of that card of like, well, yeah, you can win this, but what are you willing to risk in order to win this fight? So here it's almost a sense that this opportunity might be like an opportunity to kind of discuss those things. Maybe the Ace of Cups isn't like, hey, we're going to have this amazing connection, but like, hey, I want to heal these things. So let's like talk, or let's connect and figure out like what that was about, or talk about what that was about. And maybe that's all of the offering that they'll get, or all of the offering that Brad will get, or vice versa. So let's take a look at the Three of Swords in the past for the biological children. We have here the Tower. So yeah, this concept of a happy family almost was never a thing for them. And let's take a look at the Eight of Swords in the present, Eight of Cups. So really, they don't feel like they want to connect. They would walk away from any opportunity to connect with Brad. So let's see what the Six of Pentacles is about for the future. We have the Two of Pentacles, and that's kind of like, balancing responsibilities, finances, juggling things. So it may be to some degree in the future for the biological children, it's about, kind of connecting with Brad for the purposes of borrowing money, getting their own businesses started, making a life for themselves. But it seems in terms of like an actual connection with for them, they are either hesitant or don't want to deal with this with Brad's adopted children. It may be that they will learn to recognize like, hey, this is the life that I have. This is kind of, I only have this, one chance to make it right. So I'm going to go and, talk to Brad about these things and what was going on and how they feel about it. Maybe not trying to make Brad feel better at all, but like making sure that they feel good about themselves and their own futures and their own families. So thanks for watching this edition of Tabloid Tarot. We'll see you next time. Take care.